podcast with your co-hosts, Brian Fontenot,
Brandon Boone,
and Kiera Sandoval.
What up, what up, what up?
Hey guys.
What's up, y'all?
How
Travel
are you
Squad.
guys?
Right. Hey. Travel Squad up today.
Travel Scott over there taking wins today.
Right.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Going places all around the
Doing
world.
things.
Big things. Big things.
Well, I'm excited about this weekend, you guys.
Oh, yeah. So, guys, Kiera's coming all the way from D.C. to Austin this weekend.
Yay!
She's coming to keep it weird.
Right. Right.
She's going to take that DC swag in Austin.
Right.
Well,
So
you know
we
I've never been to Texas before, so
What?
that's why I'm even more excited. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Hold up.
Yes.
Turn up.
This is the first time I ever been to Texas. Well, I've been there as a baby. That doesn't count. But this is my first time visiting Texas. So you
Turn
better
up.
be good host, sir.
Oh, yeah.
Turn up.
We're going to show you the
Yes.
ATX life.
Turn up.
Yes. So I'll be ready to post photos of my adventures in Texas and Austin for everybody.
And for everybody listening who hasn't been to Austin, you can come because Brandon always keeps it lit, and I just follow around. I just tag along. That's
I
it.
don't know about that. I'm retired from the game, but
Brandon was the reason the word lit was invented because the way he
Oh.
lives his life is
Oh.
just a video.
nah.
I'm
I'll
ready to
show
see
you-
that this weekend, Brandon.
Hey, I'll show you some
Don't
good
let me
places
down.
to
Don't
eat.
let me down.
No
I'll
pressure.
I'll take you to the best food places. How about that?
See,
Perfect. As long as I get some Mexican food, I'm good to go.
Oh, yeah.
life is lit.
Yes.
See, Brandon, you know what you're doing. You
Mexican
don't
and
have to lie to
barbecue.
people.
Oh, yeah. We have some good barbecue on Saturday.
Oh
Yes.
yeah, super good, super good. All right, guys, what we talking about today?
What we talking about?
What we talking about? So to open up the show, we're gonna open up with our question of the day, which is a revolving topic that comes from you as our listeners. And if you haven't already, make sure to visit driftertravels.com/podcast where you can submit your questions. So for today, the question of the day to start things off is, how do you find the best picture taking spots?
Okay.
Go
I
ahead,
have to think long
Brandon.
and hard about
Right.
that one.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I probably scope social media. I always scroll through like Instagram and
The gram.
locate the location I'm going to. Like it's Colombia, Cuba, or whatever. I look it up and I see what pictures people are taking, and they give me ideas of what pictures I want to take. I mean, I really don't. It's kind of random on the spot. Also, when I get there, but I always have a few shots in mind on what I want to take and how I want to take it. So that's pretty much how I get down.
Brandon said he got them shots already.
Oh yeah,
He keeps them shots already revolving.
I be lurking those Instagram feeds
Brandon, stay on the Instagram
a little bit.
just a little bit.
What about you, Kiera?
I look on Instagram as well, but I kind of want to look and see what everyone's done and kind of stay away from the cliche things. So if I see one more Leaning Tower of Pisa with a finger on top, I think I want to scream. But those pictures
Oh,
are
yeah.
cool. But I mean, I just want to get my own type of picture.
Right.
So
Yeah,
I'll look
yeah.
at Instagram and get ideas from there. And I do follow a lot of photographers. I am not a photographer. Shout out to all the real photographers out there. But I try to I'll look at their pictures and try to see things from their perspective because they always have a creative perspective. And then once I'm at the location, whatever moves me, maybe like the sunset or the sunrise or maybe like the rain, I'll just take photos of whatever I see right there.
Right. So yeah,
No rhyme or reason for me.
just do it.
Yes. Brian, what about you?
So I do a mix. Like sometimes I have that image of what I want in mind. Like when I went to Paris, I knew the exact picture I wanted, and that thing came out super clean. I got a whole bunch of Facebook likes for it.
Nice.
Because of course it was all
Hey.
about the likes.
Get your likes up.
Sell yourself for some likes, y'all.
It's all about those likes.
Yeah, sell your soul for some likes. But then the other piece that I had was I always will ask locals because sometimes they know like good places. Like when I went to San Francisco, I had a client that told me where a great place to take a picture of the Golden State Bridge was, and I would have never thought about it. not because there's not many places, but it gave me the exact angle I was really looking for my picture. So asking a local is always a good thing too. So
I don't think you can never go wrong by asking a local anything.
Yeah.
I think that's the way to go.
Unless you meet a local that who ain't been there for that long.
True.
Then that's when it gets bad. You're like, do you know anything?
A true local.
Yeah. Get you a real one. A real one.
A real one. You got to ask them how many years you lived there.
Yeah. You got to
Make
quiz
sure
them
he's
on
a real
things
one.
that you found online to make sure that like that really know what's going on in the country. So, or the place or the city, wherever.
Mhm.
So.
Okay.
But yeah,
Well-
that's how I found it.
Well, I'm excited to see some pictures from our viewers once they start going on their trips or once they continue their trips. So you guys please tag us in your pictures once you start taking them and post them on social media because
yeah.
we'd love to see them.
Hashtag Driftr Travels.
Yes, hashtag Driftr Travels.
We're watching.
Oh no, we lurking. We doing more than that. But
All eyes on you.
all eyes on your trips. We're trying to see, how y'all be living. Because
Yes.
I see some of y'all be living across the country,
Right.
man. So,
I love it when I see pictures with the families and their children. That was so cool. Like, seeing the kids out there traveling. A friend of mine actually posted on Facebook today, his daughter, she has a bag with all the stickers of all the countries that she's been to. She had like Korea and Japan and Texas and California and Florida and other places on there. And the bag was bigger than she was. I thought that was pretty cool.
Nice.
Yes.
Man, I just love seeing pictures of people in general. Just places y'all go. Y'all give me like so much travel inspiration of like, hey, these places I need to check out. So kudos to y'all and traveling
Yes.
the world, being great, being on beautiful and stuff. Y'all are real beautiful people. If nobody ever
yeah.
told y'all, like y'all mom or dad never told y'all, I'm here to tell you on the podcast that everybody that be taking pictures on your trips using the Driftr Travels hashtag, y'all some beautiful people.
Straight
Don't
up.
ever let anybody lie to you.
Right, straight up.
Ex-boyfriends, ex-girlfriends, like neighbors, like old teachers, your high school like crush. Don't let anybody lie to you. Y'all beautiful.
So silly.
So for the next segment of the show, now that we've told y'all about being all beautiful and stuff when you take pictures from high points, we're going to get into the cards and points segment. Specifically in the cards and points segment, Brandon and I are going to focus on trying to provide you all the information about credit cards, redemption strategies, and other things that you can use so that you can get the points so that you can be traveling for free. So today, we're going to focus specifically on another credit card, giving you all the tips and tricks on how to use that card. Brandon, what are we talking about today?
Oh, yeah. So today we talking about the Chase Sapphire Reserve. And it matches up pretty well with the Amex Platinum that Brian talked about last week. So I'm going to go over just a few of the basic benefits that you get with this card. So off top, you have the $300 annual travel credit, which you can use every year towards any of the travel purchases. You also get 3 times points on travel, restaurants, fast casual, taxis, anything that redeems as travel on your statement, you can redeem those points. And you also get 50% more in travel redemption. So when you book through the Chase portal, you get 50% points back. And you also get other elite benefits like $100 towards global entry and TSA pre-check. You get 1-1 transfer to airline and hotel warranty programs. And you also get the 24 access to the worldwide service team. So those just the main points you can get, and Brian will touch basis on some of the other benefits and get a little bit more detail on them.
So, I mean, you've covered over the travel credit, 3x points on travel and dining, 50% more on travel redemption, elite benefits, 24-hour access. But other things that most people don't consider when you're looking at this card is, for instance, getting the primary insurance protection when you use your credit card. So, say, for instance, you're on a trip and you accidentally hit somebody's car while you're in a rental car. The good thing about this is it covers the primary insurance, so it doesn't have to go to your own personal insurance, which is better for you, so make sure that you don't get in trouble. You can also shop with points using Amazon.com. They don't have any blackout dates or restriction dates when you use your points, and you can even book for your portal, as Brandon mentioned, but you also get access to VIP access to events and experiences. You get the lounge access, which I think is another good thing to point out about this card. You get worldwide lounge access, so you can bring up to 2 people into a lounge. So definitely if you want to have lounge access, this is another good card to get. It definitely rivals your Amex Platinum card, but it provides a lot of unique benefits. And we talked about in the previous episode about the different portals that you can, different partners you can transfer your points to. And some of those including domestic carriers like United or Southwest or Singapore Flyer Airlines. They're not domestic. It also includes hotels as well, so like things like Hilton. So you definitely have a lot of earning potential with this card. Now, when it comes to the annual fee is $450. But remember, we're already getting a $300 annual travel credit right off the back. And you're getting 3x points on travel, which Chase Sapphire cards travel is very loose. I mean, travel could be cars. It goes to hotels. It goes to flights. It goes to cruise. It goes to car rentals. It goes to trains, taxis, Ubers. It goes to parking fees. You can get 3x on your parking fees.
Yep, and metro.
And
public
metros.
transportation. Public transportation.
Yes. So when you're buying up those public transportations in those cities that have good transit, definitely want to use this card. And when you're paying fines from parking downtown, you want to use this card. But hopefully you're not getting too many fines.
Right. I want to say what? You get points
or parking
for that?
apps. You can use it for parking apps as well.
Parking apps. So it's real loose. I mean, a loose term for the word travel. Somebody had the other day, they told me like what they were getting 3x on. It was crazy. You also get 3x on worldwide dining. So when you at the club and you decide you want to buy the bar, use your Chase Sapphire Reserve card. Look, I'm not playing, y'all. I'll go out and buy drinks on cards that get 2x, 3x points.
Right.
Yes, everything.
So if I'm ever being generous and buying your drink, just know it's really for me.
Right. He's not flexing.
I'm not flexing.
He's flexing those points.
Right. I may ask you to go, like, pay me back later, like on some Venmo stuff or something like that. But that's another story for another day. But no, there's so many ways you can use this card. And most importantly, adopt it into your strategy of make sure to use your card. Don't use your debit card. And be able to pay this off basically every month. But just from the 3x travel credit alone, that leaves $150. You take that and you decide that you need to get 3x points on travel. Hopefully you're spending stuff. I bet it would cover even to like car payments. So basically you need to spend $5,000 on travel in a year's time, which is a very, loose number to basically max out and get those additional $150 in credits. But you remember, you're getting 3x points. You can use this. And right now they have a bonus offer of, I believe, 50,000 points.
Yep. I believe it's the 50,000 points if you spend 4,000 in the first 3 months. The only thing you have to be wary of, I know a good way I used to hit the minimum requirements was paying my mortgage through plastic, but plastic certainly shut that down with Visa cards. So you have to, right? Really? Yes. So if that was the way you used to use to hit minimum requirements, we have to find another way to hit it. But I mean, it still shouldn't be pretty hard if you put the rest of your bills on there. If you have like a steady spending habit, you should still be able to reach that $4,000 purchases in the first 3 months.
What about rental payments? Does plastic still accept rental payments? Do you guys know?
I think that
it's just specifically the
mortgage, right?
Mortgages.
But I think that count. I think it just depends on how your landlord accepts the payment. Like, are you paying through like an apartment complex, or are you paying directly to a landlord?
Okay.
Because I think it just depends on how it is on the back end.
Yeah, they just stripped. They stripped specifically anything that was Visa. But we'll make sure to cover also so you can learn a little bit more about how you can use plastic to your advantage in another episode.
Yes. But also the Priority Pass, I think, pays for itself as well, because if I'm not mistaken, Priority Pass is $27 if you just pay for the service on its own.
Yeah, $27. Well, $27 per person per time, or you can pay the membership, which is $199. But you get the highest tier, which is worth $299 a year. So if you go into a lounge one time, I mean, I consider that done.
Right.
So a lot of people don't consider lounge access though sometimes with their credit. I mean, their the annual fee.
Yeah, that's definitely a good perk. So when you get the card, you get the points. You use your points to buy an international flight. You definitely need to use your Priority Pass to hit the lounges. Between those long flights, those long hauls, you're definitely going to make your money back by far. And just so everyone knows, those 3 times points adds up a lot, like very, very, very quickly. And if you start getting in the habit of buying all of your friends' flights when you guys book your travel, or paying for dinners, or paying for large purchases, and having everyone pay you back immediately, when you see those 3 times points add up, you'll be like, wow, I just gained 5,000 points or 6,000 points within a month's time or 2 months' time. So definitely look into the card and kind of strategize on how you can maximize your points.
Oh yeah,
with
sack
everything
those
that you
points
purchase.
out and use those points.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Don't be stingy.
Yes. Yes. And actually, to be honest, I found that the Chase portal compared to the Amex portal, I know you won't like this, Brian, but you get more, the point redemption is a little bit better, to be honest with you. I've found with the Chase portal.
Are you lucky? Because it ain't been that way for me.
Because I priced out a couple, like, let's say, for instance, when I went to Austin, I was looking for a flight back home from Austin, and on Frontier, Amex was pricing the flight back at 8,000 points. But through the Chase portal, it was 5,000 points. And I've seen that with a couple other flights as well. So you just have to compare.
That's that 50% travel redemption benefit that we were talking about too.
Yeah.
Whereas with Amex, and we'll cover it for another episode, with the platinum business card, you'll get 35% back. So you get your points back differently on Amex than you do with Chase. It's upfront. With Amex, it's in redemption. I mean, it's like after the fact. So.
Okay. But I have the card. I like it. I use it specifically for my restaurant food purchases and sometimes on my travel purchases. So I'll put everything else on my Amex except for like some travel stuff and also for food. So, and when we go out, brunch, DC, we love to brunch. When you go out to happy hour, et cetera, I'm always using that card.
Did you get it when it first came out with the 100,000?
I did.
Points?
I did.
Okay.
I waited to the last minute to get the card because I was just like, oh God, I don't feel like paying this fee right now up front. But I mean, I knew it was worth it. So I actually had to drive to New Jersey to go to the branch. And it was like a 2-hour drive. I just got up early one morning and drove. And I went to New Jersey and I completed the application in the branch. And it was funny because I wasn't the only one that did that. The whole branch was full. They said they had a waiting list for like 3 hours. Luckily, I had called like 3 days before and put my name on the list. But they had like a 3-hour waiting list of people trying to apply for the card. So I did get the 100,000 points.
Oh goodness! Well, yeah.
Yep.
I know all about the points, y'all.
Right, I know that's paying off.
Yes. So you guys are lucky you have Chase branches in Texas, but we don't have them here in DC. So I had to, like, one Saturday morning, I got on the turnpike like 6 in the morning because I had to be there by like 8, 9 o'clock. And I was like the third person there that day. Oh, and then the computer system went down. How about that? So everybody, I guess, across the nation was in Chase branch and the technology went down. All the systems went down. We had to sit there and wait for like 2 hours for the system to come back up. But it was worth it.
Oh, yeah.
So then I waited 2 hours. It took me 10 minutes to do the application, got approved, no problem. And then I got in the car and drove back home. And I was home by like 12 o'clock. Yeah.
That's dedication.
I never told anybody that. You guys were the first to know. I just want y'all to know that.
Driftr podcast exclusive.
Yes. And again, guys, be cautious of Chase 524. We discussed it before. But just in case it's your first episode, or we just want y'all to know that if you apply to 5 credit cards within 24 months, Chase and receive that card, Chase will automatically decline you for any more Chase cards. So if you like me and Brian, unfortunately we can't get this card right now, but just be cautious of Chase 524.
Yeah, because I'm still in the doghouse.
Right.
I'll be out in 2 months.
Oh.
I'm not applying for no cards right now, though.
That's clutch, though.
Yeah, I'm going to have to start all over. I have to redo my strategy. So
I'm going to the Amex side. So
switching to the Amex.
Oh, yeah.
So apply for your Chase cards first is what we're telling y'all. Get your points, y'all. Get your points.
Yes. Please let us know if you have any questions about any of this. We'll definitely be happy to go over this with you in depth. Just reach out to us. Instagram, Driftr Travels.
Make sure to join our Slack community by going to driftertravels.com/Slack because we'd love to chat with you in there and be able to answer all your questions in the Cards and Points chat room. now that we've been able to teach you about the Chase Sapphire card and Reserve card, and hopefully that you are using it in the $450 annual fee and all the other benefits that it comes with, so that you can be able to get the most in your travel redemptions and travel points, we're going to take a trip. We're going to fly to somewhere in the world, go to a new country, hopefully that one that you haven't been before, but hopefully one that you'll want to explore. Kiera, where are we going today?
You guys, we're going back to South America, and we're going to Santiago, Chile. And I'm actually excited about all the research that I found, and I'm actually very interested in going to Chile. And I'll give you a few reasons why in a few minutes. But just to get the important information out of the way, if you have a U.S. passport, you do not need a visa, so you don't have to worry about that. I know last week we talked about, I think it was Brazil, and you do need a passport for them. A visa for them. So just so you know, you don't need a visa for Santiago, Chile. And just so you know, Santiago is actually the capital of Chile and actually the largest city in Chile. So there are a lot of things to do there. But how you get to Chile? The largest airport in Chile is actually in Santiago. The airport code is SCL. And from my research, it looks like most flights to Santiago will require a layover. So just so you know, no, there aren't really very many direct flights there, but all the American carriers go there, Delta, American, United. But a lot of the Latin American airlines go there, so you can use Copa, Avianca, LATAM, and Air Canada. Well, Air Canada isn't a Latin airline, but that's just another option for you. But just so you know, so you can strategize with your points, what we were talking about earlier, with the Latin airlines, they're affiliated with the big partnership programs with Star Alliance and Oneworld. So strategize, using your points with Copa, Avianca, LATAM, and Air Canada. Copa's with Star Alliance, Avianca's with Air Canada, United, Aeromexico, LATAM's with Oneworld, and Air Canada's with Star Alliance. So if you have points and you want to use them, definitely look and see who you can, code share with, so you can use your points to get to Santiago. So just so you know, the currency in Chile is the Chilean peso, and $1 is equal to 644 pesos. So from what I've researched, and Brian can back this up because he went earlier this year, it looks like our dollar's pretty strong there, correct?
Yes.
Okay,
strong
good.
Is a good word.
Good. I like to hear that. Just so you know, their weather is opposite, of the East Coast weather here. So on the East Coast, when it's summertime here, it's their winter. And when it's winter here, it's their summers, just like Brazil. So you want to keep that into consideration when you're making your plans. And just so you know, when you go to Santiago, from what I've researched, they have a very good public transportation system. It looks like they had an overhaul of their metro system or their trains in 2007. So there's a big metro system and there are a lot of buses, so you can definitely get around very easily. And this is what I got excited about when I was reading about Santiago earlier. So there are plenty of things to do, and I'm an outdoorsy type of person. So if you're into going to parks or taking pictures like we talked about earlier, you can go to the Cerro San Cristobal Park.
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of picture ops there. If you really want to do something adventurous, you can go on an Andes mountain tour. Like, I got really excited when I saw that. And when you go on the mountain tour, you can do hiking, but you can also go skiing there as well, which I thought was pretty dope. I never really thought about skiing in South America. I don't know. Have you guys ever thought about that?
Nope.
I would, though.
I would. I just never thought about it. Like, when I think of South America, I always think of beaches or rainforests. But, of course, there's mountains, so they do have skiing available. You can also go hiking in the San Jose Mountain. So I thought that was pretty nice. There are a lot of packages for the San Jose Mountain, so you want to check that out. And then there's also, which I thought was amazing, there's plenty of vineyards, a lot of wineries. And one of the main vineyards that I kept seeing was the Santa Rita vineyard.
Mm-hmm.
Did you go there, Brian?
Mm-hmm.
You went to the Santa Rita one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Man,
nice.
Wine tasting out there was amazing. I mean, there were so many places you could try wine, but like you said, there's so many like wineries around the area that you can go to. They're all within an hour away. So you can definitely I came back with 7 bottles of wine.
Enough said.
And I bought these bottles of wine, and the taste was so good because there are certain grapes that only grow in that region of the world. They have grapes that can't even grow in France, or they can't grow in Italy. and they only grow because of the climate and the agriculture there. So like I would gladly go back because I had the best steak and wine ever.
So there you go. Someone has visited there. So yeah, the vineyards are really nice. And also there are a lot of museums there as well. And one of the biggest museums that I saw was the Museo Chileno de Arte Precolombiano, which is the Chilean History Museum. And from what I've read there, basically there's a lot of artifacts from old Chilean history before the city like became together, you know, like ancient history. So you can go there and see all of those artifacts and all those exhibits. Also, if you want to go horseback riding in the mountains, they have that available, and that's for several hours. Like, I got excited when I saw it. I was like, I can go skiing, I can go hiking, go to the vineyard, and horseback riding. And then also, if you're really into the arts, they have a really, really nice theater called the Teatro Municipal Las Condes. And from there, you can go see an opera or any type of classical type of show. That's on my bucket list, guys, to go see an opera. And I think it would be pretty dope to go see an opera in Chile. So, if I ever see another deal to Santiago, like you guys did when you booked, I'm definitely booking it because I want to go there.
Chile sounds lit.
Yes, I'm like, there's so many things I want to do. And I mean, I don't, maybe Brian, you can tell us about the food. I mean, since you were there, you have firsthand experience.
Food was good, y'all. It was right after we came back from Cuba, so I had something to compare it to.
Okay.
But yeah, the food was pretty good. Like I tried a lot of local spots.
Seasoned.
Okay.
Ooh.
Seasoned. And I tried to do, tried to be in the culture. So I tried to eat what they eat, and I'm just like, man. No, real talk. I would go back to Santiago. Like I had such a blast. It was a solo trip. I got to learn a lot. I got to see. They had beautiful views for taking pictures. They had beautiful food, good people, live music, nice night scene. They had some very beautiful, like, aesthetic places. I mean, you could go hiking outside of the city. You can go to wineries. You can go to the water, go to basically the ocean, and it's only like an hour away. So, I mean, it was right in the center of everything. But that region is just known for their agriculture, their wine, and it's really got a lot. They had a nice mall to go shopping into. So, I mean, I went to a lot of museums, saw a lot of art. I mean, hands down, it was one of my favorite trips.
Oh, yeah. South America has a lot of hidden gems.
Right. So
people be sleeping on it. It's easy to get to as well.
Yeah. And you're like almost in the same time zone.
Right.
So,
oh, yeah.
I mean, that means something to me.
Yes, definitely. And American, they actually have pretty good deals. I can't believe I'm saying this, but it's the truth. They have pretty good deals as far as point redemption goes to South America. So you definitely want to strategize on using your points and getting to Santiago. FYI.
Well, yeah, guys. Make sure to get to Santiago.
Yes. And that's it. I mean, I don't need any more. Like, the money is strong there. I can go on a mountain tour. I can go hiking. I can go skiing. I can go horseback riding, go to a vineyard, and go to an opera, and eat good steak.
Ooh.
That's all I need to know.
Right.
And I don't need a visa? Oh, yeah, I'm out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no visa.
Yeah, so that's all I have for Santiago. If any of the listeners have been there, please let us know. I would love to hear your vacation time there, your story there. So, and I'd love to see some pictures as well.
Oh, yeah, I need to upload my pictures. Thanks for reminding me.
Yes, please. That's it, guys. All right. So now we're taking a trip to the amazing place of Santiago, Chile. We've also talked about the Chase Sapphire Reserve card that you need to add to your arsenal if you haven't already. And we answered your question of the day of where to take the best pictures at when you go to another country, especially those beautiful views that make you look beautiful, because you're all beautiful people out there who all listen. I don't know about the ones who don't, but I know about the ones who do, and they post pictures. They're beautiful. Now we get into the last part of our show, our roundtable discussion, where we focus on a topic that's of importance to you. And shout outs to my boy George Sanders, who's listening all the way around the world to the Driftr podcast. And hey, Jorge.
Right, what's up, bro?
Bro, I don't know your name because people call you different names.
Yes, that's Jorge to me.
My man George, when I knew him when he was in America, asked this question, and today we're going to cover it during our open roundtable discussion. So the question for open roundtable discussion is: what are the top checking accounts to use to avoid foreign ATM fees?
Oh yeah, that's a good question. Right.
Thanks so much, George, for the question. G Sanders 11 and Driftr. Man, so
right. Let me take notes on this one.
So I got a list. Some charge low fees, some don't, and this may help you to figure out what banks you can transfer to, or be able to get the lowest fee possible, so that you can avoid ATM fees, specifically when you travel. So, the first bank that we're going to cover. How you say this? Shoot, I'm about to butcher names because that's what I do. I make a living off of that. Ally?
Oh, Ally.
Ally. See,
Yeah.
I butchered it. See, some people are illiterate in the world. I rep for them. So, Ally does charge a 1% fee, but it's low. So that's the reason why we're only mentioning it. Now, if you read their FAQ page, it says if you use an ATM in a foreign country, you may be charged a fee of up to 1% of the transaction amount for the currency. But it does reimburse ATM fees for other banks if you're in the U.S. So,
oh, that's pretty dope.
Good to know. All right. So the next bank we're going to cover, Capital One. If you bank with them online through Capital One 360, there are no fees for any draw without the outside the Capital One network. Even if like match fee and such like that charge you a card, so you shouldn't see a fee. But some people say if you bank through the physical location, you'll be assessed fees as high as $2 per withdrawal and up to 3% of the transaction amount. So do Capital One 360 so you get the online bank so that you're not charged a fee. Good tips.
Right. I just opened an account with them too.
Charles Schwab is the next bank. You receive full reimbursements at the end of the month for any ATM fees incurred anywhere if you have their Visa Platinum debit card, a high yield investor account, or a max rate checking account with at least $5,000. Dollar bill, y'all. So it's unlimited ATM fee rebates apply to cash withdrawals using their Visa Platinum check card wherever it is accepted. Yeah.
I will say this about the Charles Schwab account. Can I say something real quick?
You got it.
Okay. Just so you know, I know a lot of people are watching their credit score, want to buy a house or buy a car or whatever. Charles Schwab does pull your credit when you open an account with them, so just be aware of that. And when you do deposit money with Charles Schwab, there is a time limit on, they have to hold the deposit. So don't try to deposit cash in the account, or a check in the account today and then go out of town tomorrow and have access to those funds. I know because I used to work with them.
Good to know.
Yes. And Charles Schwab is a good bank, so they have good fraud protection, so they'll look out for your account.
What's most important? So the next bank we're going to cover is Citibank. Now, the good thing about Citibank is they have branches abroad with over 4,000 locations in more than 40 countries. You have a specific webpage that you can go to find out a little bit more, and you can find what cities that are in. If you can't find a location, non-Citibank ATM withdrawals outside the U.S. result in a $2 fee plus 3% international transaction charge. But they're waived for Citi Gold members. So try to find the foreign ATMs at one of the locations in other countries.
So do you guys use ATMs in the airport at other countries?
I have before, only because I wanted to have just a little bit of cash, just so I could get like a taxi, but then find like a better conversion. So I only get what I feel like is necessary.
Yeah, I don't think I ever had the chance or really needed to take any money out in ATM overseas yet. But in Brian's instance, that's probably the only reason why I would.
I wish you would.
I'm just weary of withdrawing money from an ATM at an airport specifically. I just feel like I've read so many stories where people's information gets taken and their card gets shut down. I just don't have time for that. So I try to bring like a little bit of cash with me when I go out there, or have my my transportation already set up, so I don't need cash right then and there, and then I'll use a ATM, inside the city somewhere.
Yeah. Or should I carry at least a little USD?
Yes.
Just
That
in
too.
case.
That too.
Never know.
And I feel like they would give you, not such a good rate at the airport because they know you're in desperate need of cash
Right.
if you're at the airport.
Okay. Bank number 5, Fidelity. Clients with cash management accounts receive waivers. So they waive with ATM withdrawal fees for your cash accounts. You'll automatically be reimbursed for the fees but charged by other institutions while using their gold check card and it's your account. Anyone that has a Visa Plus or Star logo, but they'll be credited basically to your account. So you'll see the fee, but you'll get the money back. But there's a foreign transaction fee of 1% that is not waived, which will be included in your target account. Now, some people have said that they've seen fees as high as 1 and 3% by Visa because it's processed withdrawals as cash advance. So make sure you select withdrawal and checking account from the ATM, not so it gets charged as cash advance.
Oh, that's a good point. I never even thought about that.
All right.
Interesting.
Good thing to note.
Yes.
Next bank would be First Republic Bank. Now, they have an ATM rebate checking account. It offers free use at more than 800,000 ATMs worldwide with limited ATM access and even interest on balances over $3,500. Dollar bill.
Right.
ATM fees are refunded from other banks worldwide. International card usage fees are waived. So, First Republic, I'm about to drop some money with y'all. There are free ATM withdrawals available to available limits as well. You must have a minimum opening balance of $500 and a minimum average balance of $3,500 to avoid the monthly fees. So, you definitely want to have some money in there.
Is that an online bank? I've never heard of that bank.
I've never heard of it either. Where is First Republic? It probably is online. There's so many online banks now you can kind of book things from. It looks like it has some subsidiaries too. Now they got some headquarters, so. Thanks so much, First Republic.
Office locations. Let's see.
I might just be hollering at y'all pretty soon.
Right.
Shout out to Google.
Shout out to Google.
So they have New York, a lot of locations in New York, Connecticut, Massachusetts, Florida, California. Wow, there's a lot of banks in California.
I think the headquarters there too, what I saw.
The headquarters.
So it's probably popping in Cali.
Very good.
Good to
Filling
know.
the seas here. Yeah, they got a lot of banks in California.
Well, maybe they're not.
We could take a field trip to Cali and go talk to First Republic Bank.
All right.
How about that?
Let's do it.
All right.
I'm down.
The next bank will be PNC. PNC doesn't have any international partners, and it will charge you a fee of $5 per transaction plus 3% of the transaction amount. But if you're a performance or performance select customer, these fees are waived. So you can get a complete terms, conditions on their website. So hopefully you can get to the higher accounts. So that way you can be reimbursed. Next one is TD Bank. TD Bank, the brick and mortar chain, they charge a flat rate of $2.50 for ATM withdrawals with no foreign transaction fees. But it's waived for TD Premier and TD Relationship account holders with a daily minimum balance of $2,500 in that account. So put your money in there, y'all. Next up, USAA. Strictly speaking, you do get charged a fee for withdrawing your money from USAA account, but it's pretty low. So they refund up to $15 in other banks' ATM usage and fees per month, and doesn't charge a fee for the first 10 ATM withdrawals. But after that, you charge $2 each, and you get a 1% transaction fee for anything withdrawals out the United States. So if you're only making just a few withdrawals, you should only be paying that 1%. U.S. Bank is next. They don't have any partners or international ATM locations. They add fees to all debit card transactions abroad, including a flat rate fee and a 2% withdrawal charge. Ouch. And 3% in a foreign country. Ouch. But only $2.50. The $2.50 fee is waived for platinum and Platinum and Premier checking account customers, while Gold customers can get their 2 fee waivers every statement period. So I know where I'm not going.
Right. Take them off the list.
Why are they on the list? That doesn't make any sense.
Why, fam? Why, fam? All right. Last but not least, Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo will charge most of their customers a $5 foreign withdrawal fee plus their debit card per their debit card FAQ page. But customers with the PMA package accounts receive up to 2 free non-Wells Fargo ATM withdrawal transactions per transaction style. And if you're mega rich, all fees are waived if you have a balance of $250,000 or more.
Come on now.
I'm like $2 off from there, just so you know.
Boy, my house don't even cost that much.
Right. Like, what?
I need to move to Texas. Good Lord.
Yeah, you do.
Who needs to go
We'll
to the
see
ATM
after this
if you
weekend. I
have,
might be announcing a big move after this weekend. We'll see.
What?
like, who even goes to the ATM if you have that much money in the account? Like, for what?
Why
For
would you
what,
keep
y'all?
$250,000 in a checking account?
I know some people that kept $500,000 in checking account, and if they ever were below $500,000, they felt poor.
Right.
I was like, so if you had $499,000, $900, and you would feel poor. He said, yeah, I had to get that extra $1. I'm just like,
Come
what?
on now.
It's like, why? So I had to
Right.
have over $500,000. I'm like, no,
What?
you have to get robbed.
In a checking account? That does not
Right.
make any sense whatsoever.
But
okay.
But I guess when you have $250,000, you can just go make that withdrawal, and then get $249,000, and then they go and say, oh, we're gonna charge you a fee, and then you get mad.
Right. That's crazy.
Wells Fargo, you trife.
That's probably just a play account.
So our selections are probably the best ones that you could pick. Probably be the TD Bank, the First Republic Bank, and that's not waived. Citibank. Those would be our top 3. We don't have a top 5, unfortunately.
Yeah, just top 3 today.
Top three. So the other one's definitely going to charge you some money. But with Citibank, you can make sure to go to some of the numerous international locations with TD Bank and what's the other one?
First Republic.
First Republic. You have to have a minimum balance, but you get all that waived. All the other ones, you're going to get charged somehow. So hope that helps for everybody out there who really wants to know how you can save ATM fees. But remember, always be paying attention to where you get the best conversion for your money. At airports, they're usually a little bit higher, which means you get less money. Well, okay. Usually the fees are a little bit higher, which means you get less money. And usually going to banks in most countries give you the best. So if you can go to the ATMs, hopefully there's an ATM for a bank, not an ATM for like a airport or money exchange or anything like that. So keep that in mind also as you're trying to think about ways you can save not only in foreign transaction fees, but also to save your money in general.
Right. And always try to carry a little USD on you. Don't get stuck like you in Cuba. I ain't going to say any names, but you don't want that to happen to you. So, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, we ain't going to say no names. Sadly. Well, I just had flashbacks. I mean, you might want to be braided up sometimes when you go to another country.
Better to be safe than sorry.
Yeah. Good Lord. Man, I'm going to be thinking about that all night tonight. Thanks, Brandon. I have nightmares about what happened.
You welcome, bro.
It wasn't me, by the way, y'all, because I just said you stay braided up. But we was talking about a mutual friend of ours.
Oh.
Mutual friend, and then some social media posts we saw. Ooh, it was tragic, though. Tragic.
Get your life.
Get your whole life. Well, we hope you enjoyed tuning in to another episode of the Driftr Podcast. Make sure to leave us reviews on all the different networks. You can find us on iTunes. You can find us on SoundCloud, Google Play Music, Stitcher Radio, TuneIn. And as of last week, all of our episodes are now on YouTube. So tune in to us on YouTube, and you can visit our profiles. Make sure to visit driftertravels.com. I'm sorry, podcast.driftertravels.com to learn more about the different places you can tune in. You can also listen on our website. Make sure to go and visit our Slack community so you can be a part of all the discussions and conversations. But most importantly, we can answer your questions that you have about travel. Go to driftertravels.com/Slack to learn more. But until next time, our friends, we've enjoyed talking with you. We've enjoyed chatting about stuff, and we hope that you learn a little bit more that can help you be a better traveler. It's been really fun, really real. It's one of your co-hosts, Brian Fontenot.
Brandon Boone.
And Kiera Sandoval. Talk to you guys next week.
Peace. Is Brandon going to say peace?
Peace.
All right, we can close the show now.
Bye, guys.